Hello dear students, in this video we are going to look at blood and blood groups. We have four main blood groups. We have blood group A, blood group B, blood group AB, and blood group O. So what is there in one blood group and it is not in the other, and how can we transfer blood from which one to another to which one? So this stuff is what we are going to look here in this video. So blood groups, we have blood group A. Look here, blood group A has something attached to it, which makes it blood group A. We call these some kind of proteins which are attached to the cells, like this one. We call them antigens. Antigens are some kind of proteins. They're so small, so little, but I made them like this so you can see them clearly. So these are antigens. If you have antigens A attached to the blood group, then this blood group is going to be A. We have another type of antigens. It is antigens B. And if you have antigens B in the blood group, then it's going to be blood group B. And if you have both antigens A and B in the blood cells, then this is going to be blood group AB. And here we can see codominance. Here, look, these both antigens appear and express themselves and show themselves here in the blood group. So this is, we call it another codominance. So which blood group shows codominance? Is blood group AB. It shows codominance because here you can see them both. So this is about the antigens. If the blood group doesn't have any antigens attached to it, this we call it the zero. Zero. Why zero? Because it has zero antigens attached to it, or we call it O. So if it doesn't have any antigens, this blood group is O. If it has antigens A, it is A. Antigens B, B. Both, it is AB. Nothing, it is O or zero. So this is about the antigens. But we have another thing which determines who can receive blood from which one. Another thing in the blood plasma. Now these blood cells swim in this liquid part of the blood, which is the blood plasma. And in the blood plasma, there is something we call antibodies. And these antibodies will attack anything which is not familiar to it. So here, look, blood group A has antibodies B. So it will not attack these, but it will attack this one. If you have blood B transferred to a person with blood group A, now these antibodies will attack them. Now this is about blood group A. Blood group A has antigens A and antibodies B. Now blood group, it has B. It has the antigens B, but it has the antibodies A. And blood group here, look, A has antigens B, but the antibodies A. Now blood group AB, it has both antigens A, B, but it doesn't have any antibodies. It doesn't have anything. And blood group O, it has no antigens, but it has both A and B antibodies, so it will attack anything. Now who can give blood to who? Which one can receive from anyone? And why we cannot just give blood from anyone to, why I cannot give blood from this person to this person? Why I cannot, or can I? Now let's see if it is possible here. Look, if a person has blood group A, then as we said, it has antibodies B. So if you give blood to this person from a person whose blood group is B, now what's going to happen? This is blood group B. Let's imagine we transfer and we give it to, now it is already there. What's going to happen? These little guys, the antibodies, will go and attach themselves to these red blood cells. Then they're going to cause coagulation and just will lead to blood clots. Now here in the bloodstream here, they will just coagulate and make like clots here. Now the blood cannot move, then the person may have a heart attack, then may lead to death. Here is another scenario. If a person has blood group B, he has antibodies A. So if you give him blood group from a person whose blood group is A, or maybe also if you give him from A, B, now they have these A antigens. Now the antibodies, what will they do? Look, they will go and attach themselves to here, these antigens. Then they're going to cause coagulation and blood clots and blah blah blah. Then this person may die. So it's not possible just to give blood from anyone to another. And what determines that is the antibodies present in the blood. And let's just see here. Who can give who? A person with blood group A can receive blood from a person with the same blood group, or it can receive from blood group O. Why? Because blood group O doesn't have any antigens, so these antibodies will not attach themselves to it and will not attack it. So blood group A can receive from A or from O. Now blood group B can receive from the same blood type or can receive from O. Why? Again, because O doesn't have any antigens, nothing, these latter guys, the antibodies will not attack these red blood cells, will not cause coagulation. So blood group B can receive from B or from O. Now blood group AB, it doesn't have any antibodies, so it can receive from, let's say, A, it can receive from B, it can receive from the same, it can also receive from O, so it can receive from everyone. This one we call it universal recipient. So blood group A B, universal recipient. Okay, now blood group O can only take from blood group O, because if it takes blood from any other which has any antigens attached to it, here we have two types of little guys which will attack it. These antibodies will work against it and attack it and cause problems. So blood group can only take from blood group O, but it can give blood to any other group. So blood group O is so generous, and we call it universal donor. So blood group O is universal donor, blood group AB is universal recipient. You should keep this in mind because they can have some questions. Here we have the genotype of blood groups. If you have blood group A, the genotype here, it can be homozygous like this one or heterozygous like this one, blood group A. Blood group B can also be homozygous or heterozygous. And blood group AB here, it is IAIB. And blood group O is little I. And this is about the blood group. Just let's have some examples to work, maybe if we have questions. Now, if the father, the person gets married, his blood group is A, heterozygous, and the mother is B, heterozygous. Now, if they get married, what is the possibility of having the children? Let's separate these alleles to make the gametes. Now, let's cross them. The first with the first, the first with the second, the first from here with the first with the second. Now, as you can see here, we have blood group A, B, and here we will get blood group B, and here we'll get blood group A, and here we'll have blood group O. So if those two guys get married, then they can have children with all possibilities of blood group. They can have a child with A, they can have with B, they can be AB, or they can be O. So it's possible to have child with any type of blood group. Let's have another example here. If the father is homozygous A and the mother's blood group is O, then the children, how they're going to be, let's cross them, the first with the first, the second with the second, and the now here this blood group is A, this is A, this is A, this is A. So the mother's blood group is O. The father is A. So, can they have a child whose blood group is O? No, they cannot. So, this is something useful to disprove the fatherhood. Maybe a man claims that a child is his. Then, can we prove or disprove this one? Okay, we can disprove. Now, these two guys cannot have a child with blood group O. They cannot have a child with blood group B. They cannot have a child with blood group AB. So it's not possible for them to have any other type of blood group except A. And so we can disprove. We cannot prove the childhood or the fatherhood of a child with the blood group, but we can deny these. Okay, in some cases. In this case, we cannot, because it's possible to have all the type of blood groups. But here it's possible in this case, and in other cases it's possible to disprove the fatherhood of a child. Let's see here. This is the another example here. This is the father AB and the mother is A. Then the possibility of the children to have, this is A. This is AB. This is A. This is B. So it's possible for them to have 50%, 50% A, 25%, 25 AB, 25% is going to be B. So 50%, 50% to 25% to 25%. So the ratio is 2 to 1 to 1 to have these genotypes and blood groups. And I hope this is clear. Let's look at another thing here. When we speak about blood, there's something else. We don't say blood group A, blood group B. We also have something. We say blood group A positive, B negative, O positive. What is this positive negative? Is it like electricity and charges of electricity? Actually, no. This is positive and negative is another like antigens, or just let's call it some other type of protein. We call it the rhesus factor. The rhesus factor also other something attached to the cells. It can be positive, and that is referred to it as Rh positive, or it can be negative, and it is referred to it as Rh negative. And the genotype here of them, the rhesus positive can be homozygous, like capital D, or heterozygous, capital D, little d. And the rhesus negative can be little d only. And now, it's so important to care about this when we transfer blood from a person to another. Maybe this person has blood group and he is, let's say, negative, and this person here is positive, rhesus positive. If you give the person blood from this one to this one, now at the first time nothing is going to happen, but his body is going to start making antibodies against this rhesus positive. Now if you another time give, maybe another time after a while, you give the same person blood with the same person, now what's going to happen? Already his body has made antibodies against this rhesus positive. Now this person may die and have like clots because his body already made antibodies. Now here let's look at the possibility of having rhesus positive or negative. If you have the father is positive and the mother is positive but heterozygous, now the children is going to be like 100% rhesus positive, 50% homozygous, and 50% heterozygous. And it's clear now here. There's something to care about, and very, very important. If a man, the man is rhesus positive, the mother is rhesus negative. Now, what is the possibility of having the children? Their children are going to be, okay, this is the father, rhesus positive, and the mother, rhesus negative. Now, what's going to happen here? Look, all the children are going to be rhesus positive. All the offspring, all the children in her body, which she will carry, will be positive. Now, what is the deal with this? Why it is important to know it is rhesus positive or negative? Now, the child hair in her body is going to be rhesus positive. Okay? Now, during birth, some of the blood of the child is going to mix with the blood of the mother, right? Now, some of these rhesus positive are going to go to the mother's body. Now, the mother's body is going to start producing antibodies against this rhesus positive. Now, the first child is going to go and come to life happy, and nothing is going to happen to him. But if this mother gets pregnant another time, and now her body already has antibodies against this rhesus positive. Now the second child, this is going to be in trouble. Why? Because these antibodies are going to attack the blood of the fetus in her womb. Now the fetus may die because it's going to have clots and these problems and just die. It's going to be much, much worse for the third child because her body will have made much, much more antibodies against this rhesus positive. But medicine can have just solution. Maybe they can give her some medicine, and this medicine is going to like destroy these antibodies which her body made. Now the child can be saved, or maybe even they can change the blood of the child inside of the mother's body, and then the children may live. And this is just one case which we have to care about the blood type and if it is positive or negative and this stuff. And that is about blood and blood group. I hope everything is clear. Until the next video, ciao.